Welcome back, my friends, to old channel, but officially now new name. My name is Rogan, and you are watching The Rogue Shaman. Quite an event last week, wasn't it? New breed and all that. It was a wild time, and I'm excited to be able to tell you guys about it when I have the opportunity to recover enough from the insanity of life, of my life that I'm going through right now. Um, it will. I'm going to try my best to make it next week, and to tell you all the things about Rainbow Farms that there is to tell, and a bit more. Uh, but in case I don't, in case there are no videos for another a week or two, uh, or three possibly. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna do my best on the weekends, but I've had some things coming up in my life, specifically with my job, and I know if you've heard me talk about it before. I'm gonna do my best to keep it brief, but they have not been very nice to me. Even though I've done my best to work hard for them and everything, but just the way things have gone, the decisions they've made. I've I've worked hard for them. They've held back my income, my they've held back the raise that I was supposed to get. I eventually got it. They dragged their asses a month to give it to me, and I was really counting on having it on time. That screwed up my finances some, and they and then one of them had the audacity to actually lie about who was responsible for taking the initiative, as in saying they did instead of me. It was me. I asked them. I asked the man responsible for doing his job and getting us the raise to talk to the people who would affirm that I was, that would tell them the truth about my work ethic, and that individual refused to do it. And yeah, I got my raise, but not for another month. And then in addition to that, I discovered recently that they changed their policy about how people take vacations, and I wasn't aware, and neither was my coworker who was hired into the same area I was, who was hired for the same job. And he was actually had 9 years of experience at the same job that I was being trained at, and he was only getting paid the same as me. And they were giving him as much trouble with his raise as they were mine. And he takes care of his mother. That's that's almost all he does is work and go home and take care of his mother. And the policy that they did, that this vacation policy that my company changed to, um, change, changed it to where typically, okay, most companies that I've worked for, typically, they let you take an unpaid day off during the week anytime in case of an emergency or you get sick. Some companies will have an allotted amount of days for that, and then they will also have like a point system. So like if you're late or something, then you get like a half point or something, and then like if you run out of sick days or something, and you need to use an extra sick day or like an extra unpaid day, then that will take a point, or something, but you'll have a decent amount of points to where basically what I'm saying is you can have unexpected things happen in your life, take an unpaid day off of work because you can afford an unpaid day off of work every now and then to take care of that problem, and then still work the majority of the year and have the company give you a paid at least 1 week vacation, longer if you've been at the job longer. Well, my company used to have that, and then just this past year they changed it to where it doesn't matter if you ask for an unpaid day or not. Every single time you take time off at the beginning of the year, it is taken out of your vacation hours. And when you have no more vacation hours, then they may still, they might not give you points or anything for taking a day off or anything. But if you've used all those hours of vacation for emergencies, home issues, being sick or whatever, and then you want to take your vacation, you can take it without getting points. But if you've used up all your hours of vacation by then for other stuff, then that whole week of vacation you take off is going to be unpaid. And I learned that the hard way this past year. I was not prepared for it, and it fisted my bank account. Pretty hard. Now, on the flip side, there is actually, yes, a flip side, a silver lining to all of this, so to speak. It's on account of another fault of my company, but it is turned into an unfortunately necessary thing that I have to take advantage of. I have no other choice. My company has also had this fun issue of not really understanding how my particular job with metal finishing, it's not exactly. There are multiple kinds of metal finishing jobs, some much faster than others. Ours isn't the kind you can put on an assembly line in time and things like that. It's because you really cannot predict the kind of problems that we are going to have to face and fix. And we kind of have to judge things on our own as well as how bad a part is before we let it go. And they want parts instantly. They have they have the very, very modern day spoiled mindset that you can have anything you want instantaneously if you have enough money and you yell loud enough. But that's just not how it works. There are some things in life that you literally just have to wait in order to have the best amount of quality at the best amount of rate with the most amount of parts to be able to provide to your customer. And my business doesn't really seem to understand that, because for the who knows how many time in a row they've done this, they have ordered far more parts to be delivered to our customers than what our metal finishing crew can accomplish within a 40-hour week. And they asked all of us out of the blue on Tuesday, hey, starting right now for the next 3 weeks, can you work 12 hours every single day? 5 days a week? And for some of us, particularly my friend who and fellow coworker who had that 9-year experience, they told him he had to work, and yeah, who takes care of his mother, has to be at home for his mother when he's not at work. They told him he had to be there 6 days a week. They didn't tell him the sixth day was optional. At 12-hour days for 3 weeks straight. He and I are the two tallest people there, and the type of metal finishing required to do, the only way you can do it is either by constantly bending over a table that is literally below your crotch, and that's about, and the part is literally not much higher than that, or you have to do a squat and hold it while keeping your back straight, which is, I have discovered, the healthiest way of doing it. But that is also a pretty crazy workout to do. And to try and do it as consistently often as you can while doing a lot of this, because you're doing a lot of sanding and a lot of grinding on the, well, it's called grinding, using a dual action tool, air power tool to fix these and sand these parts out. There's just so much elbow grease, literally. It is insane. And then picture yourself being 6'5". That's literally how tall both of us are, approximately. He is almost exactly my height, if not a little bit taller. And yeah, it can be a back killer if we are not careful. And they want us to do this voluntarily, fortunately, but they want us to do this for 12 hours a day. And that was last week. And I already had commitments that unfortunately got canceled. Some of them got canceled. And so I wasn't able to do it, or I thought I was. Well, my plans have not been going to plan at all, but I've been able to still manage to stay afloat. That, well, yeah. But this is the silver lining right here, though. This 12-hour offer shift, because my company screwed me so bad with this policy and without informing me, because I may not have taken that week of vacation off, or I would have been way more prepared for it, because I'm good at keeping up with my bills. And this screwed me pretty hard. So it's fortunate that my company has ordered an insane amount of parts and asked for an insane amount of hours to be worked. So I will have to be doing that this week, and I will be very tired by the end. 60, 50, I'll only be doing 5 days. I'm not doing 6 12-hour days in a row. It'd be amazing if I can manage all 5, but unfortunately, that policy, I'm not going to say what the name of my company is. Not at this point anyways, but the way they've treated me and my fellow employees, it hasn't been right. And, I believe in karma, I believe in justice, I believe in following the laws of Mother Nature first, truth, cosmic truth, and then the laws of the local land in which you live. So, yeah. And my problem with this policy, I mean, think about it. If you use up all your time, your vacation time, on emergencies, and then you're expecting to have a vacation so you can spend time with your family, but your company decides you already used up your vacation on your emergencies. Oh, your car broke down. Oh, you got sick. Oh, you had to go to a parent teachers meeting for your kids. We don't care. Oh, you used all, well, you can still have your vacation, but you won't get paid for it. If I had kids, if I had mouths to feed, like I was struggling with my anger already, just for my own sake. If I had kids depending on me, whether they were my own or not, it wouldn't matter. If I had pets, if I had anyone depending on me, oh my gosh. But a family and a wife and kids, so much more responsibility. It's literally stealing time away from people. Like, if someone's being, dishonest with their time, that's one thing. But a lot of people, these are rough times. Bad luck happens, and people need to take a little bit of unpaid time off, and companies should be flexible with that. Injustice bugs the living hell out of me. If you've seen my videos, if you've watched my channel and the things I've been through and the things I'm willing to state, the things that I've said to Trudeau, the things he's done since. Like, I'm not a big political person, but when I see things that I can tell are not fair and not right to the innocent people just trying to live their lives and make it from day to day. I mean, there is a science to rest, to letting human beings spend time with each other, with their families. And these people are so greedy that they want to take time away. They would rather you be a slave for them. They would rather you spend that time with them in their factory, building their parts, making them money, than saying, hey, you worked so hard for me, I really appreciate it. Here is a week off of it's free money. It's not free money because you earned it. It's yours. You deserve it. And most companies understand that. And the longer you've been at a place, the more time you get, because the more the company appreciates you, because the more you've proven how consistent you are with your capabilities, that you're able to continue to learn, that you're able to keep your shit together. But when they do shit like this, it's kind of hard keeping things going when you're planning on still having that money, when the vacation is unpaid, and then car insurance, which is not cheap in Michigan, kicks in, and you have no money in the bank. And then you have to borrow money just for gas, just to get to the next paycheck. So, thank you, bosses. for this opportunity to learn patience, as well as for the loads of material I will be writing when I have the time. Because I'm going to write out everything that's happened to me in detail in a fun, encouraging fashion. Because, the story isn't over, friends. The story is not over with this company and I. Oh, the show's gonna go on, my friends. The show's gonna go on. Now, no more of this work shit. Next week, if I have the energy, recharged enough, I will tell you everything about Rainbow Farms that I can. And at the end, if it hasn't been too long of a video, if it is, we'll do it in the next one. But if not, I want to do it at the end of the next one. I would really like to. I'd really like to do this next week. After the Rainbow Farm stories, I would love to share with you guys just a free example of my cards and my runes. I'm just gonna do a general reading at the end. You know what? It's probably gonna have to be the video after that. So probably 2 weeks before we get to these. But the Anubis Oracle and, well, this is the Book of Runes. But I keep the runes in here, along with the cloth that I cast them on. But yes, we will be getting into these in a couple weeks. And I'll just do a reading of each, share a little bit about them, or maybe I'll just do the reading. We'll see. We'll just go with the flow. That's been the biggest thing I've been learning, just surrendering to the flow. Because you just can't predict what life's going to do to you. The best thing you can do, you gotta hope for the best. You gotta plan for the worst. But life can wreck your plans even when you plan for the worst, because it's like you plan for the worst and it's like, oh, life's got a bigger imagination than you. And it can come up with something even worse that you're not prepared for. Like your job, creating a very unfair policy that you weren't informed about. That just happens. Nothing you can do about it. And unfortunately, your job screws up again, and you get some extra hours available to work. And if I do both weeks, I should be fine. I should be able to pay for my rent. And hopefully I'll be able to keep my electricity on. That one might shut off. I'm not sure about that one. Might actually lose that one for a little bit. We'll see. But we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine no matter what. And that is what you can predict. You can predict yourself. When you know yourself, you get control of yourself. Get in touch with yourself. Get in touch with your demons. Train them. Control them. Don't let them control you. Because those are what's going to make you lose control when life goes to shit. You cannot predict what is going to happen in life. You can only predict how you are going to respond in your attitude and in your perspective. Is the unfairness going to break you? Or are you going to use it to your advantage? Stay safe, my friends, and until next time, farewell.